Hey guys, Clay Banks here. For those of you who do and don't know me, I have been a life empowerment coach for decades, and along with helping people improve the quality of their life comes health, fitness, and nutrition. And I was talking with Pastor because we're going into a corporate fast, and for years I've watched what's happened with people fasting in and out of the church where they go, hey, I'm going to fast. It's 12 o'clock on such and such a date, and I'm going to stop eating. And then you stop eating for 24, 36, 72, 168, whatever hours you're going to fast for, days and weeks for some of you. And then you go ahead and start eating again. That is not the kindest thing to do for your body. Okay, so I want to just talk to you about this. If you're fasting anything else like television or news or social media, I'm not discussing that in this video. I'm talking to you about health and nutrition. When you get ready to fast, you don't want to just stop eating, because here's what happens. Inside us, there's roughly about 25 feet of intestines, about 20 feet of small intestines, about 5 feet of large intestine. And that's a big transmission pathway for the food to go in the mouth and then be eliminated. And in that process, there's something called peristalsis. And peristalsis is when the muscles involuntarily are actually pushing the food through the intestines through the process of digestion. Now, when you decide, and that's going on all the time, when you decide to just stop eating, what's happening now is you're slowing that peristalsis down and eventually stopping it, because there's no more food to operate it, to activate the nerves to continue to keep the muscles doing what they do. So now what happens is, inside all those intestines, you've stopped the process, and now those foods remain there. Now, when they remain there, they're at certain phases of digestion, from just beginning to waste itself. And when you have that waste sitting inside your intestines, what tends to happen is the same thing you experience when you throw trash in the trash bin and you don't take it out of the kitchen when you should. It starts to smell. Well, those smells are toxins that eventually are going to work their way through the intestinal lining, make their way into the bloodstream and into the cells of our body. And now what's happening is we're intoxicating ourselves from the inside. Not a good thing to do. And then when you go to start that, to get off the fast, to start stopping the fast, right? You're now going to very easily be dealing with some form of congestion, or in other words, constipation, which then overtaxes the intestines in that area as well. So you can kind of see some of the issues that go on. So I just want to encourage you, when you go to fast, don't just stop eating and then start eating again. Here's what I'm encouraging you to do. Slow into it. Ease into it. Start getting rid of the fun foods, the candies and the goodies and the pastries and all those type of deals, and the breads and everything that you really don't need. Then start eliminating the harder foods, the more dense foods like your red meats. Then move into your poultry, then move into your fish, depending on the fast that you've elected to go with. If you're going to be going on a full water fast, then you start easing off all those food groups, and then you start moving into your roughage and get rid of that. Then you go into the softer vegetables like the steamed vegetables, and you go into the soups and the liquids. Now, protein shakes are liquids, and they will act as foods inside your system. So if you're dealing with liquids, I'm talking more along soup broths, and then eventually making your way into water. Now, when you're in that water, depending how long you're going to stay, again, for hours, days, or longer, now you're in that water process. There's all kind of other cool things you can do if you've made it that far and you really want to go gonzo, like a sea salt water purge, but I'm not going to get into that in this talk. Once you're in that fasting time, of course you're praying through all this. I'm just talking about your biophysiological activities that are happening here. Then when you come out of that process, just undo it the same way that you went into it. Now slowly ease yourself in through broths and soft soups, and then steamed vegetables into roughage, and then working your way into fish, poultry, back into meat, and so on. And I want to end with this. Something I found to be very, very effective is leave something behind in each fast that you do. Meaning, there are things that we consume that we don't necessarily need. So think about maybe leaving behind all the donuts, or a good part of the donuts, or some of the candies, or some of the goodies, or some of the alcohol, or some of the things that we consume that we might not necessarily need, because your body will not be craving it as much through this type of fasting as it would as if you're just saying, okay, that's it. No more donuts. We're done. That's a little bit harder than to actually kind of leave it behind and forget that it was there. And then if you are, and I would encourage you for this because it's great for your health, to be an intermittent faster. And I don't mean just necessarily stop eating at 6 and start at 12 the next day. I mean that you fast. You fast a few days each month, or even a week each month, which is pretty popular. When you do fast and you start leaving things behind with each fast, over time, you're just going to, by default, have a healthier diet when you replace those things with better things, or just leaving them out altogether. It will just help you tremendously. Okay, I just wanted to encourage you with that. Pastor and I were talking. We thought it would be a good idea to make this video, so I hope it is helpful for you. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. And if you don't see me in church, you can always email me, info@coachbanks.com, and I will get back to you. Okay, guys, happy fasting, and God bless.